We've got this one here for you, the Tamiya TT-01 Type E. Hi and welcome, Tony from Hearns, another video build. We've got this one here for you, the Tamiya TT-01 Type E. Now the TT-01 chassis has been around for, I'm fairly sure the dinosaurs were using them. They've been around so long. It's a reliable, tough chassis, really good for a first-time driver, for a first-time racer. It's a good kit to build. It's a relatively easy kit to build. In fact, I gave one to my wife to build and she quite enjoyed it. So, really good thing to do. This is a customer build. We're building it for a special customer. So, he gets the car that I built. Now, whether that's good or not, you can judge. Let's get this happening. Pull it off. Oh, come on. This kit has got lots of extra bits, lots of extra chrome bits. We'll be equipping it with one of our 9-steps speed controls. These are super affordable and really good. Got that. We have a highest servo of 550T. All metal gears, ball bearing, but still very affordable. Let's put some things over here. Wheels, tyres. I know we're going to need that chassis pretty soon. Now, somewhere in here, ball bearing set. We're going to equip this car with ball bearings straight away. Always recommend this. It's a small investment. Your car will go faster and it will last longer. Much better than the plastic bushings that Tamiya give you. Let's get the instructions. Okay. I'm going to put that up there. Let's see where we're at. I love Tamiya instructions. They're the benchmark in terms of the readability and the ease of understanding. In my previous life, I did instructions for full-size cars. I worked at Ford Motor Company for nearly 40 years, and I did the drawings that showed how to put a full-size car together. So I know what a good instruction is, and I used to show my guys when they were just starting a Tamiya instruction manual, because this is definitely the benchmark. So if you get it wrong, it's usually not the fault of the instructions. Let's start things off. The Tamiya molded chassis. Bag A. We'll just bring this back over here. Bag A is in here. That's the other good thing about Tamiya. Tamiya instructions are great, but more importantly, the sequence of assembly is very well planned out. Tamiya are well aware that people building this generally will be someone who's new to the hobby, so it's all really well planned out and very easy to follow. These are the parts in the A bag. What you also need, that big ass spur gear. Where is that? just go through here. Can't see it in there. This is always fun when everything's in the kit, trying to find where all the stuff is. There's too much stuff in there. Did I put that over here? I did not. We're looking for GB2. There's some gears in here. You'll note here it's RB1, this is plastic bearing. They're the ones we're not going to use. We'll be changing those for ball bearings. GB2, if you want a quick lesson on here, you can go up to the back. If you're not sure where a part is, go through here. This is the gear bag, so you've got gear case, ring gear and the spur gear, which is this bag here. So you've always got that cross reference. There's the spur gear. We need an 1150, which is 11 by 5 gear. We also need the rear prop joint, and I saw them here just before. It's always a bit of a mess at first when you're first starting off because there's so many parts. You've got to find them. There they are.
What's going on here?
Oh,
welcome.
Oh, you barely even got. I've barely even got going. Look.
Story of your life.
It's the I know. Tamiya bits, big chunky bits.
How good is it? This is a TT-01 TFG.
This is a fine kit. I've built a number of them. I'll just tell.
Really good thing. They're so humble and strong and
yeah, it's just like me, really.
Robust.
Robust. Yeah, possibly.
Resilient.
Just explaining to people how you go, oh, GB2, where's that? And how you can go to the back there. Oh, it's in the gear parts bag. So you've got that reference.
I think that's where they've got GB from.
Gear bag.
Gear bag?
Gear bag. Oh, you've been called a gear bag once or twice.
Fair enough.
But that's all good. Been through that. Explained the servo and the wonderful 9 steps.
ASC, yeah.
ASC, a fine thing. So.
And you don't need any hot ups for these. Like my one that I race a bit doesn't even have the alloy center shaft.
Doesn't it?
No, with the sport tune with the hop up gearing, and it does not give any problems whatsoever.
I must admit my one does have an alloy prop shaft.
Yeah.
Because I like the blue alloy.
You stick some ball bearings in there and you've got yourself a good little car to start racing.
Yeah, these are a fine thing. I like what you said. It's very humble. It's a simple car. And how long have these been around for?
2003 TT-01 was released. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so 20 odd years.
Yeah, and it's still the same thing.
Still the same thing.
It's
all right.
Just amazing.
Go forth and have fun.
Oh, I like these. Oh, good. Now he's gone. Thank God. Right, let's get going. Rear prop shaft. That's not an 11.5. You can always place that over there. You see the external diameter is correct, but the internal is not. So that one looks better. All right. 50, that goes there. And gear bag 2, we've got that little spacer, which is this one here. This all goes in there. Now that, I'm not sure is that the right one, the spur gear stopper? It is. Now we need, there's a tiny little pin that goes in there. And that will be in one of these bags. See, I'm making a mockery of saying it's easy to find this stuff. There it is. Let's just pull that little sucker out. Yep. That goes in there. It goes beautiful. This is, that's better. Yeah. Just put that there. The little pin will tend to move around a bit. And now it's fallen out again. This is only the only annoying thing about the TT-01, this part. It just, there we go. And that, unless you get it just right, you need to get that pin centered exactly. There we go. Sometimes you just have to turn it around a couple of times to get it right. That's now in there. This is sometimes a difficult part for people to do, because it's not entirely obvious how it works. But basically the ball bearing needs to seat just in here, and that the gear stopper, the spacer, needs to fit over where the pin goes through. Once you've got that, then it all sits in there. If it spins around like that, you're okay. Okay, next we go into the prop shaft. I'm not sure what bag that's in, but it should be an easy one to find. It's not there. I'm going to suggest it's here. We also need another prop joint, which will be this one. So that goes in there. You just tilt it up a little bit. Put that in there. We'll worry about a bearing for that later. You want to tilt that up just enough to let it go in. You got to be careful, because sometimes the gear stopper will move and you'll have to redo all that again. So there's section 2. So we've got the prop shaft in, the spur gear, that's all ready to go. Now, Tamiya suggests you put the, I think this is the battery post. I'm going to leave that for now. We can add that in later. Let's continue with the other things. And let's put the motor in. It's good to put the motor in at this time. It's really early. Tamiya torque tune motor, really good. An RS540 Mabuchi, used in a gazillion kits over the years. I don't know how many they would have made. Really good motor. I have these in my Tamiya race cars. Pull the rubber stopper off. A lot of people don't put these gaskets on. They're worth putting on. They keep a bit of dirt out of the motor. I've got that there. Pinion gear is here. Now that needs a 3mm grub screw in it. It's not in it. The grub screws are in this bag. Now we need a 1.5, 2mm, 2.5, 3mm, 2.5. There's no 1.5 in the kit. What I'm going to do is use the Tamiya supplied Allen wrench. That'll do the job. Screw it in just a little bit to get it started. Do it up, but don't tighten it all the way, just a little bit. You've got a measurement here, 15mm. That's from the face of the pinion gear to the face on the motor. I don't have anything here to measure. Just amuse yourself for a second while I go and grab something. Metal ruler does the job. Holding that here, that's a little bit too far out. There we go. That's bang on 15. Now I can tighten that up. And that's good. Now we need the motor mount. Motor mount is D3. So when it says a number like that, D3, in Tamiya terms that says that's the D parts tree. So we look for the D parts tree. This is not the D parts tree. Grab the next one. This is the D parts tree, and we can see the motor mount just there. Once you've learned how Tamiya organise their things, it makes it very, very easy. We'll just nip that off. And if we look carefully, there's a definite difference between each side. This one, the holes are more open, which is what's depicted there. So we'll put that on there. And you've obviously got a number of choices as to where that can mount. If you don't know, this pinion is a 19 tooth. So on the diagram here, the 19 tooth is straight up and down. So we put that there like that. And the fixings are 2 M3 by 6. which is this one and this one. Now, this is the first time I've screwed anything in this kit, so now it's the time to tell you, once I've got this lined up. This is a genuine Tamiya screwdriver. It is what's called a JIS screwdriver, Japanese Industry Standard. It looks like a Phillips head, but it's not. The tip profile is different on these, and it's, some of you may have assembled a Tamiya kit before and oh, the Phillips head works, but it's not really good. That's why. All the Tamiya screws are in fact JIS standard. So it's, even if you're only ever going to build one Tamiya kit in your lifetime, it's good to have the correct tool. With the correct tools in, it just works beautifully. You use a Phillips head, it's not quite as right. Now, they're not necessarily readily available. I've found that most of the big tool retailers do have them. I'm talking Sydney Tools, people like that. Well worth investing, because it just makes the kit go together so much better. So, motor's ready. It goes down into this slot here. We'll just fold that up and fold that up. That should be fine. If you hold it, it should just rock a tiny bit. I know that's not really a great description, but that's all it needs. It shouldn't be tight. If it's tight, double check that you've got these in the correct spots. Make sure it's, in this case with the 19 tooth pinion, it should be aligned directly. Yep, just a little movement, and that's good. Now, next part is the gear cover. That's another D part. Here's the D part. Here's the part at D10. Get yourself a good pair of nippers too, because you'll be able to use them on a number of projects. These are God hand ones. They're ridiculously expensive, but 9 Steps, our house brand at Hearns, also we have a pair of nippers that are very, very good, well worth looking into. Get yourself some. Now, gear cover goes on. There we go. You'll feel it when it goes into the rods. You go, ah, yeah. Now, for anyone who's built a Tamiya kit before, the M3x10 screws are used in, I don't know, they must produce billions of these every day. Don't do them all up straight away. Just give them a little bit of a tweak and then start to do them up. So that if I did this one up first and did it up firmly, it's going to tweak the whole thing. Much better to just do part of it and then to just slowly do each side. I've got all 4 in now. Just doing a bit at a time. Sorry if you're looking from overhead, there's not a lot to look at here. All you can see is my hands. Resist the temptation to do these up super tight. It's just not necessary. Okay, that's all done. We'll put this aside. Time to build up the diff gears. Diff gears are in the gear bag. We'll pull all these out. And the rest of it is in the metal gear bag. Okay, this is Tamiya ceramic grease. Very, very good stuff. More than happy to use it. So, I've built so many of these I don't even need to look at the instructions. These are pot metal gears. They're pretty tough and they will probably outlast the rest of the car. We've got that there. Now, that gear goes in like that. And I'm just going to put some grease in. It doesn't have to be spread evenly. It will spread itself as the car gets moving. And I dropped one out. Put that on, put this back in. Not a bad idea here, just to maybe turn them around. Just make sure you should be able to see all the gears turning around, indicating you've got it in correctly. Now, again, just putting a few dobs of grease in various spots here. Don't fill it up. Some people, I'll fill it up with grease. No, you don't need to. Not necessary. Just enough to make sure it's lubricated. There are optional diffs you can get. You can get a spool, which is a locked front diff. I think you can get ball diffs for these still. Or just to change the handling characteristics slightly, but I recommend sticking with these. They just work. Alright, there's a bit there. And I'll put a little bit on the back here where it interfaces with the diff housing. So that's good. Now this goes on here. You'll notice there are pins here and they align with the holes in the diff housing. Just keep turning this around till eventually it clicks in. There we go, that should be right. Yep, that's good. Now, there's these tiny, tiny little screws. These are M2 by 8 mil. Now, the chances are that my JIS screwdriver will not work with these, but we'll see. And it doesn't. So, have a quick look over here in my toolkit. There's nothing of that size. Stay there for a second. Okay, these are these tiny little 2 by 8 screws. You'll need a little screwdriver to do these up. Once again, as always, you should not do them all up straight away. You don't want to risk warping the gear. So you just do them a little bit at a time. Now that I've got it like this, I can get a bit more pressure on it. These are hard to do. Again, don't do them up too tight. Just enough so that they're seated. You don't have to seal these diffs. the grease won't come out. It's reasonably heavy grease, the Tamiya stuff. So just be good if this had a bigger handle. It's hard to get any real force into it. So that's done there. That's good. That's one diff done. We'll turn the page now. And that diff gets to go in the car now. This is a 12.8 bearing. Just grab another one of those out of here. These will just snap on easily. If they don't, then you've probably got the wrong one. And this one here is an 11 by 5. That supports the rear end of the main prop shaft, which is just in here. Put that on. And now, from the gear bag, we've got another one of these plastic gears. Now, it says to put grease on there. I'm not going to put the grease on that. I'm going to turn it around so it seats properly on the keyway. And just put some grease directly onto the main diff gear. I do it like this at intervals. I'm not saying that's the only way. Everybody does it differently, but that's all right. Now, this can go in both ways. It'll fit this way and it'll fit that way. So make sure you put it in the right way, or you can end up with a car with it turns differently either way. I'm just turning this around, spread the grease a little bit, but also just to confirm that the operation of it is correct. You'll find it a little bit difficult to turn because it's trying to turn the motor over as well. But that's all right, and you can see the grease is starting to spread more evenly, so that's all good. Now, the next part is a part that's sometimes difficult on TT-01s. Well, for a start, that's just fallen out again. What I'll do is just support this so it's up a little bit, and that works. Is you have to put all the bits in at once. So you've got the upper arms, the lower arms on both sides. You've got the upper support, the rear diff housing, and it all has to go in all at once, and it's usually a bit of a debacle. We'll see what we can do. You've also got options for wheelbase, short wheelbase or long wheelbase. This particular kit we're building will have the short wheelbase configuration with the 911 body shell. Now these parts are the B parts tree. So now we're looking through here for the B parts, and I just happen to know that it's this one. So we'll pull this out.